In the heavyweight division, there is something of a triangle of champions. This will not be resolved until everyone fights everyone, but if this fight goes the way you just described and Fury is victorious, you being his manager, promoter, or his promoter, would you want him to then unify and become undisputed against Anthony Joshua? Is that the best next fight for him?
No, because Anthony Joshua is not an elite fighter.
Certainly, peeps, this is Boxing 2020, and I make this a short and sweet video. I think we've all heard the comments by Bob Arum saying that AJ isn't an elite fighter, which I think is just hilarious. It makes you question what's going on in people's minds where you can say things like this. They clearly don't think about facts of boxing history. It just seems to come from the fact, like, we all know if Bob Arum had Anthony Joshua, he would be the best thing since sliced bread. You know, a lot of the Americans tend to run down British fighters, despite it being a great time for British boxers in general and British boxing. Over the recent years, I do feel like the UK has brought boxing back to the main stage in people's minds. If that wasn't for people like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, I don't think that we'd be where we are right now. Fighters such as Deontay Wilder have managed to raise their profile simply by mentioning these guys' names without actually jumping in the ring with them, which gave America a heavyweight champion for a while. You had Andy Ruiz, obviously with his win over AJ in the first fight. That's the only two American champions for a long time now. Besides that, over the last few years, the truth of the matter is the British fighters have brought it back. And even today, we have numerous fighters with great potential, and I cannot say the same for America at the minute. I can't think of many guys in America who have the potential to get to that spot. Off the top of my head, obviously, you've just got Wilder, who's just suffered a devastating loss. We're not sure if we're ever going to see him the same again. That remains to be seen. You have Andy Ruiz, who was easily outboxed by Anthony Joshua over 12 rounds in their last fight. Charles Martin, who Anthony Joshua beat with complete ease, just had a win over Washington on the Fury Wilder undercard. And then you've got the drug cheat, Jarrell Miller. There's talk of maybe Kaunaki, but none of these guys have proven anything. There's mild potential there, but no one's really ringing bells. The names right now is Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, we got Dillian Whyte, we have Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. You know, there's guys ready to mix it up. You know, we're a tiny little island on this planet, but this is where modern boxing was born, and it's quite fitting that right now it's a new age of boxing. The Klitschko era was ended by Tyson Fury, a UK boxer. The profile of the heavyweights was raised massively by Anthony Joshua, and even more so with Tyson Fury's most recent win. So these are great times to be a UK fan right now. But getting back to Bob Arum, how he can say something like that is crazy to me. He said, if you can't be elite if you've lost to a guy like Andy Ruiz, okay? It's generally accepted in boxing circles that Andy Ruiz, when he's at his best, is a very good fighter. He's extremely good. Evander Holyfield had talked about when he sparred him and said what a handful he was and that he couldn't do anything with him. After the AJ fight, Lennox Lewis says, Andy Ruiz hits like a motherfucker. That's his own words. He said he was sat ringside and couldn't believe the sound of the punches. Everyone sees the hand speed, the good boxing technique, and the physique is misleading, but you don't judge people by physique. As Fury likes to say, this isn't a bodybuilding competition. So we all know that Andy Ruiz is a very skilled fighter when he's at his best. And besides that, you have to look back into boxing history again to see if that statement holds true. So Sugar Ray Robinson, who's generally considered as the greatest boxer of all time by many, he came to the UK and lost against a fighter nobody gave a chance to, whose name was Randolph Turpin. Muhammad Ali lost to a fighter with a 7-0 record called Leon Spinks. And Mike Tyson, as we all know, in the biggest upset of all time, lost to a man called Buster Douglas, who was generally regarded as not having a chance in hell. So essentially, you'd have to say to Bob Arum, so do you not consider Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or Sugar Ray Robinson to be elite fighters? Of course they were. They were all-time greats. And it's such a stupid thing to say. So I think anyone with a brain, anyone with a critical mind will realize that. It's just something I wanted to point out because it's just crazy to me. I know he doesn't promote AJ and it's not maybe in his interest to big him up, but just be real. And that's the thing I realize with a lot of people, especially promoters and stuff. They just can't be real when it comes to the truth of their fighters. And should Fury manage to have a fight with AJ, what are you going to say then? You're going to say, well, he's no good? Well, of course, you should give him all the credit possible, because what you're looking at is a unified champion. Fury, should he win, goes from defeating the most feared one-punch fighter in the division from a lineal position. Now he's the WBC champion, and should he beat AJ, he becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. That's absolutely huge. So to diminish AJ's capabilities, ability, skill, talent, whatever you want to say, it's just ridiculous and does no good for your own fighter. I know Bob Arum's been around a long time, but to me, the game is about the fighters, not about the men behind the scenes, because these are really just money guys. You know, it's easy to sit there and slag people off when you probably never broke a sweat in your whole life. But everything they have, and this goes for all of them, this goes for Hearn, Arum, Fish Eyes, you know what I mean? Any of these guys, Finkel, they're the pen pushers, yeah? And the game doesn't move without the fighters. So before people take sides and follow one or the other, obviously let's use our heads. History has proven that taking a loss doesn't really matter. A lot of it's the manner of how you lose. Do you show heart when you lose? But anyone who takes Bob Arum's word, it's just, you're gonna need your head checked, yeah? So yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. This is Boxing 2020. Peace.